up on this episode of Design to the Nines, you're ready to paint crisp, clean lines on your walls. You've got your painter's tape that says it has paint block technology. Is that enough? I'll let you know on this episode. Stay tuned. Welcome to Design to the Nines. I'm Natalie. If this is the first time we're meeting, hello and welcome. I'm so glad you could join me. And to everyone who joins me each week for my DIY interior design and all things home related tutorials, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. Today we're doing a little DIY. I'm going to show you some very valuable tips and tricks on how to stripe walls that I've learned over years and years of striping so many walls. In probably every home I've lived in over the past 10 years or so, at least one room or one or two walls. Horizontal stripes usually, but it works for vertical stripes as well, these techniques that I will be sharing with you. Trust me, you will not be hearing it from some of the big box retailers and the painter's tape. Don't get me started. You won't be hearing it from them. Their way about it not only doesn't work, but the ones that do work don't make sense to me, and I'll tell you why. But these are my tips and tricks, and I think that you're gonna like them. So what we're gonna be doing is this wall behind me and this wall to the left of me will be getting navy blue and white stripes. I'm gonna be carrying some of that navy blue that is in other parts of my house into this room. The inspiration piece was actually a really cute notebook that I found at Michael's. I can't find that notebook, but it inspired me to buy these pillows. It was very similar in style and look. And so this is the jumping off point, and then also taking into consideration the navy blue that I have all the way around my house. I have to be honest with you, this has really become the catch-all room. It's holding the last two boxes from our move that I've never unpacked. Everybody has those, right? It's like you get all moved in and you have like one or two boxes left. Well, those are in this room, and that's all gonna change. And then you'll see that right now it's like mostly very vanilla, very boring, and vanilla can be really amazing and look really awesome if done right, but this is not how vanilla is done right. And so we're gonna change that. We're going for more of a bold impact in this room, but these principles can be applied to whatever palette you are using, from neutral to bold like me. You can use these same principles to get crisp, clean paint lines that will not bleed and will look good. Okay, so it's time to get started, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint over these butter yellow walls all white, because that's gonna be our base color. You always wanna start with your lightest color. I've already done a tutorial on how I go about painting a whole room, so you'll want to check that out. Put the link above and below. I don't use any painter's tape. I find it's easier, it's a lot faster. And in my case, I decided to match the trim. It's Sherwin-Williams Extra White. I've done it in an eggshell so that there's a contrast in sheens as well as colors. So we'll start with that, but first I've got to pull away all the furniture and all the crap and load it into the middle of the room, and then we'll go from there. Painting is always a little messy, but it's also a really good workout, don't you think? If you think it's a good workout routine, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, it's really white. In fact, it's extra white. That's the name of the paint, is extra white, and it is definitely extra white. So we are gonna let this dry at least 4 hours, but in my case, I'm gonna probably let it dry overnight, and then we're gonna come back and start striping. So while my white walls are drying, I've decided to do an accent wall behind the TV, and I picked this kind of spa blue green color called let's see, where is it? Distant Valley, and we're gonna put it up now. So all right, so we've let our walls dry overnight, and now we need to start striping, the fun part. I'm so excited. So we need to decide how big of a stripe we want to go with. Now, what I typically do is the smaller the room, the smaller the stripe, the bigger the room, the bigger the stripe. Now there is some variation in that depending on how bold your color scheme is. Mine is pretty bold, so I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle, but usually they say stripes are best between 4 and 12 inches. I've gone as large as 16 inches for stripes before. I'm going with an 8 1/4 inch stripe, and how I calculated this is I wanted an odd number of stripes. That's usually the best way to go about it. In my case, I did 11. And I took the distance between the top of the baseboard and the ceiling and divided that by 11 and then came up with 8 1/4 inch. I'm gonna go on the other side of the ladder first of all, so I can get closer to the corner. Hopefully I don't fall. All right, so graceful. Okay, so for the stripes, we are gonna mark 8 1/4 inches all the way down, and then we're gonna take our level and mark it all the way around. And you want to make sure that your bubble is exactly in the center, because if you even get off a little bit, it's gonna make your stripes crooked. So it's really important that you line up your level and keep it consistent all the way across, right in the middle, so that you have nice level stripes. All I'm gonna do is mark about every 10 to 12 inches using this level, and then we'll just kind of connect the dots with the tape. It will be fine. I've done that way a lot. This is going to be such a fun accent wall. Do you like accent walls? If so, I'll put a link to another accent wall I did in my home above and in the description. And let me know what your favorite thing to do for an accent wall. Do you like wallpaper? Do you like painting tricks? Do you like stencils? What do you like to do for an accent wall? Let me know in the comments below. Now it's just time to break out my favorite thing, which is painter's tape. I say that a little tongue-in-cheek because I have a love-hate relationship with painter's tape. I love it because you need it and you need to use it, but it does not work as good as advertised. On the box it says that there's gonna be no leaks, it's gonna be amazing, but it leaks every single time. Every single time. I've even used it on smooth walls. I followed all of their directions, and so that's why you need this tutorial, because I'm going to show you how to make this work for you, because we do need it. It's like a necessary evil, I guess. But we're going to make sure that we don't have the leakage. In fact, I tested this out for you. I followed the manufacturer's instructions. I watched tutorials from the biggest paint dealers, and I burnished the edges and did everything they said. And as you can see, there was still leakage. I'm just putting like a little bitty piece of tape there and there, just so we know this is not a line that we need to worry about. But this section is our paint line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our trusty painter's tape. Tell me I'm not alone in my frustration with painter's tape. If you also have a love-hate relationship, let me know in the comment section below, because I know I can't be the only one who's this frustrated with painter's tape and the fact that it doesn't work very awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just line up our little marks, and we're gonna go just barely outside so that it catches the paint, like the darker paint, and it hides our markings. Connect the dots basically all the way across your room. So you get the idea. And then after we get the entire room taped off and ready to go, I'll meet you back here and show you what we have to do to actually get this painter's tape to paint a clean line. Especially on my walls, they've got a heavy orange peel on them, and so it's a little trickier than with a smooth wall. It's the same process, but you definitely want to follow this even closer because of the orange peel. and I'm ready to get going on to the next step. It took about almost 2 rolls exactly. I just have a little bit left. I'm excited to actually make this tape work and do the job that it's supposed to do. Now, when I originally researched this many years ago, there was a lot of people who would use polyurethane on the edge. I'd seen people use like a silicone adhesive. They would just rub it along the tape edge. And all of that was to create a crisp paint line, so when you pulled the tape, it didn't bleed through. But in my mind, it made sense to use the underneath color paint. It seems like almost a no-brainer. So when it bleeds the color that's already on the wall, and then it creates a seal that will prevent the darker, more dramatic color from bleeding through. So we do have a lot of square footage to cover in this case, so we're gonna get started. Once it's dry, we can start putting on our dramatic color and go from there. And so I am so excited. Let's get started. Got our tape sealed, and now we're about to make our painter's tape look really good. So all we have to do, and it's smooth sailing from here, is just put 2 coats of paint on the stripe, and that's it. And then it's just cleanup. So let's get at it. And I'm just going to use a 4-inch roller. You could use a 6-inch depending on the size of your stripes. All things went well, and we have perfectly straight lines. So let's see. You're gonna want to pull at a 45-degree angle upwards, and there you have it. Really nice crisp lines. Perfect. Success. Okay, so even with all of our best efforts, there has been a little bit of leakage in a couple of tiny spots, and this is gonna occur especially if you have heavy orange peel wall texture, which I do. It's just gonna happen occasionally. And so what we're gonna do is I've got a small thin craft brush here. It's flat, and we're just gonna very carefully erase those little couple of spots with a little bit of the white paint underneath. And voila. All right, our walls are done. Our lines are clean and crisp. And yes, we did have to go through a little extra effort. That little extra effort actually saves us a lot of a headache and grief on the back end, and gives us beautifully crisp lines that we're proud of. What do you think? Do you think you can do this? I think you can. In fact, I know you can. Hang on to the very end, because I'm going to tell you how to get my free ebook, but I want your opinion on something, so hold on a second. All right, I need your help helping me to decide what artwork to hang behind me. So I'm going to give you 2 options, because I have 2 pieces of art and I want your opinion. So this is option A. Let's see if I can get it in there. What do you think? Do we like that? It makes an impact. All right, so that's option A. Okay. Now, option B. What do you think? All right, so that's option B. I like them both for different reasons, and I can actually use them in different parts of my area here. Let me know in the comment section below whether you like option A or option B for my artwork. And then coming up in another tutorial, you get to see how I finish out this room with decor. Obviously, I need to do some switching out. I've got striped lampshades right now. You can't have stripes and stripes. That would be a little busy. So we're gonna switch that out, and we're gonna do a couple things. And you'll be seeing this room a lot in tutorials. I'll be using it as like a craft room and a room to talk to you guys with. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit the like button below. Also, if you want to see more episodes like this, I post weekly tutorials just like this, all about the home, DIY, interior design, all things to do with the home. And if that sounds good to you, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel below, turn the notifications on because I am posting weekly tutorials. And I would love it if you joined me every week because it's just so much better with you. Oh, and I promised you an ebook. Okay, so if you want to get my free ebook, you can get that at my website. I'll put the link below and above. And you can go to my website, designtothe9s.com. That's where my free ebook is. 21 ways to add value to your home now. So if you're looking to increase equity in your home and add value to your home, you can get that there. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it again, and we'll see you